say, ladies and gentlemen, Ella Purnell.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Good day? Good.
How are you enjoying being at Fan Expo and like just conventions in general? Do you have a blast doing these things?
I do, actually. I really do. Everyone, this water is doing something. This water's drunk. This water needs to go home. No, everyone's so lovely. And it's also like just the passion. And people are so sweet. And I'm a people person. I really like charge off, energy. And so I love these things. I think they're great.
I have a bunch of questions for you, but then we're going to open it up to the audience. And so I'm going to start with this. In your career, what scene or sequence ended up being the most challenging to film and why? Is it maybe because of a oneer, dialogue, camera moves? What was it?
Oh, that's also, like, you've opened with such a hard-hitting question. I have to, actually use my brain. It's too early for this. I don't know. I would say for me, it's generally the emotional scenes more than the technical scenes. The things like oneers, things that are shot just in one take, they're tricky, but I quite like them because they're challenging, and it really stimulates my brain in like a good way. The emotional scenes I struggle with because it's very vulnerable. It's just a very vulnerable thing, and you're in your head, and you want to get it right, and you're self-conscious, and you're also, in a bad mental place. And so I'd say like the finale of Fallout was really hard. We actually had to reshoot that scene twice because it was so tricky to nail the right tone, and there were rewrites, and there was just a lot going on. Same with Yellow Jackets. Some of the more emotional scenes in that were tricky. That's the stuff I struggle with the most usually.
Touching on Fallout real quick, I heard the show's pretty popular. I'm joking. I'm underselling this. When did you realize, though, when you were making it, that this could be something really special?
That's actually a great question because I have an answer for it. For once, it was when we were filming the scene with the Gulper, where Lucy and the Ghoul are fighting on the dock. This giant 15-foot mutated salamander, and it was so tough. It was like 100 degrees. Walton is sweating because he's head to toe prosthetics, and he's wearing like a shirt, a waistcoat, a jacket, and a hat. Like, they could not have put him in more clothes if they tried. And it was just challenging. There was like slime everywhere. Everyone was falling over. Everyone was sweating. I was missing a shoe. I forgot what those things were called. And it was just incredibly challenging. And my makeup artist, Mike Harvey, who just got nominated for an Emmy, very exciting. Yeah, he deserves that. Thank you. He was like, it's the toughest shoots that make the best shows. And I was like, I think you might be right. Because even though it was so tough, and the crew was struggling, and the cast was struggling, and everyone was like just very tense, we all kind of knew to push through because we were making something really cool. That was like early on. I think it's episode, I want to say 3 or 4. So yeah, early on.
I know everyone knows you for Fallout and all the other things you've done before, but I want to actually touch on some of the things you have upcoming, which when I was researching, getting ready to talk to you, one of them is Sweet Pea, where you play a killer on Starz. I saw the little teaser trailer, and it is so different than what's come before. What can you tell people about it?
I'm very excited for people to watch Sweet Pea. I'm producing that as well as in it, and her name's Rhiannon. She's sort of like a wallflower, nobody sees her, invisible kind of person, and she develops a taste for murder. Yeah, there seems to be a theme, really, with all of my projects. But no, it's a British show. It's on Starz out here, and it comes out later this year. I'm really excited for people to see it.
The other thing I want to touch on is something called The Scurry,
yeah.
which is by Craig Roberts. And I need to read you the synopsis that's online, or the log line, because when I read this, I'm like, this is going to be amazing. Chaos erupts at an eco cafe when a horde of deranged squirrels seeks revenge on the staff and visitors, forcing 2 summoned pest controllers to face the onslaught.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a horror comedy about killer squirrels. Again, it's a British indie film. I love Craig Roberts. I think he's insanely talented. If you don't know him, you should get to know his work. He's a weird guy. And it reads kind of like Shaun of the Dead, but it's not. He was like, I know everybody wants us to be Shaun of the Dead. I'm going to make it Beau is Afraid. And I was like, but it's about killer squirrels. And we're reading the same script. But I don't know, somehow he did it. And look, guys, I have no idea how this film's going to turn out. Like, it's either going to be the coolest thing ever or it's going to ruin my career. There's like absolutely no in between. But I think it's going to be good. I trust him a lot.
Is it like crazy R-rated, like blood and guts, or is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gory. Yeah. If you like dark stuff, then you'll, and squirrels, then you'll love the scary.
A plus. I also want to touch on Arcane because, yeah, exactly. Exactly. When it got crazy good reviews. People genuinely love the show. When did you again realize, oh wait, this could be really, really good?
Well, that it's slightly different because we started recording that in COVID, I'm pretty sure, or right before COVID, right when it was hitting. And so we were all by ourselves in the booth, and you're reading the scripts and you're reading the lines, but you have no idea what it looks like. It's such a different experience when you're doing voiceover stuff, as you know, and you're not seeing it. It's not really until ADR pickups, which is right at the very end, right before the show comes out, that you're starting to see the pieces come together and hearing the other actors do the voices, and the whole thing fits together. And so I don't think I knew it was going to be perceived because of League of Legends, and obviously there's so much lore and there's a huge fan base there, but it wasn't actually until the premiere that I watched it for the first time and was like, whoa. And it's so much of it is the visuals. Like, Fortiche did such an incredible job making this look beautiful. And obviously, the writing is fantastic, but it really comes together when you see it and hear it all in a big space like that for the first time.
Arcane is on Netflix, and let's talk about or touch on season 2, which is finally coming out soon.
Yes.
The second and final season, I should say. Mm-hmm. How long ago did you record? Have you been recording? What can you say?
I say nothing. I say nothing because I'm terrified of getting sued by Netflix. However, what I will say is it's very good, I hope. And it's out soon, right? Yeah, end of the year.
I think later this year.
Yeah.
Can you say how long ago you recorded or nothing?
I mean, you do so many sessions. You come in and you do episodes, and then they put it all together, and you don't hear from them for like a year, and then you come back and do ADR. I think I did my last session with them, I'm going to say a couple months ago. My first session with them, like pretty much as soon as it got officially picked up. So it takes a long time. I've been recording this for, I want to say 6 years. I know that Haley's been on it much longer. Mia, who plays Powder in the first 3 episodes of season 1, she's been on it much longer as well. So, yeah, it's a long process, animation.
I definitely have to touch on Fallout Season 2. What can you tell people about Season 2?
I say nothing. No, I actually don't know anything. They won't tell me anything. I'm desperate to read some scripts and to know anything. I keep trying to get the writers to tell me things, but they won't.
I heard through the grapevine that you start filming later this year in California.
Oh, do we?
I'm pretty confident when I say this. Right. Well, if you can't say it, I did hear you start filming later this year in California, and it goes through a certain point next year.
You know more than me, my friend.
Oh, you can look at me. I'm telling you the truth. So you haven't heard any, like, are you... I'll leave you be.
I was gonna say.
I'll be good. When you think back on the first season of filming, what for you is there like a day or two that you'll always remember besides the sequence you mentioned? Like is there because some of those sets and some of those things it was just so effing well done.
There's so many moments. I mean, Fallout is probably like the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. It was. I love Lucy. I love that character. I love the entire crew and the cast and. It truly just is such a special and important time in my life. I mean, the first day I ever tried on the Vault suit, I had played the games and I'd spent so much time researching and really just like living, breathing, eating everything Fallout. And putting on the Vault suit and looking in the mirror for the first time was like, I mean, I got like emotional. Like it was not lost on me how important this is, you know, and what like a special and profound opportunity I had been given, and I really wanted to do it justice, and it was incredibly humbling. Same as when I walked onto the vault for the first time. So they built all the vaults in this stage in New York, and it's massive. I mean, you're walking through these tunnels, you know, these doors open and you go into the apartment. Like you're in the game. It's so cool. Again, it's just like, it sort of leaves you speechless, actually, like how vast and broad and big this is. But there's so many moments. My first day of filming. So Jonathan Nolan, the director, producer, he likes to do this thing where he throws you in the deep end on your first day. So like Aaron, who plays Maximus, his first day was on the vertibird, which is, they built that was the real thing. They put it on this rig. So it's going like this, and you're inside it, and then you've got, you're on a volume stage, so you've got screen, oh, I thought that was a screen, that's not a screen. You've got screens all around, and they're doing, you know, they're showing you the background, they're showing you the mountains and everything moving. So it feels like you're really on this vertibird, like it feels completely real. And that was his first day, was jumping into it, being thrown around the vertibird. Like, it was chaos. My first day was, the big fight sequence when the raiders come into the vault in the first episode, followed by the love scene between me and my husband. That was my first day, okay? Chaotic. So I will never forget that because it was terrifying.
Yeah, it's so interesting, like, and the way TV shows and movies are made, you really don't know what you're going to get on those first few days. It's bananas. You think they'd start you slower.
Yeah, well, you'd think. You'd think like, oh, a nice, easy walk and talk. No. They were like, here's 12 pages of stunts. I was like, cool.
One of the things about Lucy is she goes through like a really big transformation from where she starts in episode 1 to where she ends up towards the end. What for you are you most looking forward to exploring with Lucy going forward? Because it's been really cool watching her change.
Thank you. I really don't know. That's the thing about TV, is you just sort of do what you're told. Something I personally love exploring with her is the theme of morality and identity. You know, like Lucy represents the good in this trifecta of the good, the bad, and the ugly, with Lucy, Maximus, and the Gaul. And I guess I'm excited to see what they do with that. You know, how, because, you know, the finale of season 1, that everything she learns in that scene is enough to break a person. I mean, it does break a person. And I just have no idea what she's going to do at the beginning of season 2. I have no idea where we're going to pick up. So I'm excited to see what they do with it.
I want to touch on Star Trek Prodigy, if you don't mind. Talk a little bit about being a part of that show and, you know, getting to voice a character that means a lot to a new generation of Star Trek fans.
Again, just an incredibly humbling experience. I really don't know anything about Star Trek. I was not like a big Star Trek fan before I got involved. And what I loved about it, well, I knew Kate was involved, and that was incredibly exciting because, of course, I know who she is. And what I loved about it was that, like you said, you are bringing it to a new generation. And I met someone today, a father and son, and he loves Star Trek, and he was introduced, you know, he watched it with his son, his young son, and he's introducing it to this new generation. I think that's what it's about, and it's really, I know how much it means to so many people. I know how important it is, and I know what an honor it is to be a part of, you know, the world of Star Trek, and so being able to actually see that in real life was really cool. Again, another reason why I love these things.
I just wanted to ask, since you're not really a gamer, how did the fallout come? Did they reach out to you? Did you, you know, try out yourself? How did that happen?
They sent me, actually the first interaction I had was a meeting with Geneva and Graham, the writers, and Jonah. And they wanted to explain the tone and the character to me before I read the script, and I'm really glad they did, because I'm not sure I would have got the part had I not had that initial meeting and understood the sort of the comedy, satirical elements of the show. They described Lucy as Leslie Knope meets Ned Flanders, and I was like, absolutely watching that show. Put that character in the wasteland, see what happens. So, yeah, I suppose because Lucy doesn't exist in the game, you know, the Vault Dweller does, but Lucy it doesn't, and it's its own story within bigger world of Fallout. Being a gamer wasn't really like a prerequisite, thank gosh. And then, yeah, did the audition, and somehow, here we are.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll just say that I believe you're signing and taking pictures later today, so there is the ability to go downstairs and do that. But please, a round of applause for Ella. And the exit doors are over here, and everyone have a fantastic day at Fan Expo Chicago.